The internet loves drama. A headline like, India stops America's life-saving medicines, spreads like wildfire, emotional, urgent, and shocking. But is it true? The short answer, no. The long answer, well, that's what we're about to explore. India and the United States share one of the most complex trade relationships in the world. On the one hand, they are strategic partners, working together in defense, technology, and global security. On the other hand, they often clash when it comes to tariffs, trade policies, and market access. Recently, the U.S. government announced a major increase in tariffs on several categories of Indian goods. For certain exports, like textiles, leather products, jewelry, and engineering goods, the duty has jumped from around 25% to a shocking 50%. The official reason, protecting American industries from what Washington calls unfair competition. Where medicines stand, here's where things get interesting. India is often called the pharmacy of the world, and for good reason. It produces more than 20% of the world's generic medicines and supplies over 40% of the generics used in the United States. These drugs include treatments for heart disease, diabetes, infections, and even certain types of cancer. Because of this dependency, pharmaceuticals have been spared from the latest 50% tariff hike. Both Washington and New Delhi know that disrupting the medicine supply chain would be disastrous, not just politically, but for millions of patients. So how did the story about India stopping America's life-saving drugs begin? It appears to have started with a viral social media clip made to look like a real news broadcast. The video claimed that India had cut exports of generic drugs to the U.S. by half in retaliation for America's tariffs. The problem, fact checkers found no government announcement, no trade data, and no credible source to back it up. The clip was AI generated using old footage and spliced audio, but the internet doesn't wait for verification. Within hours, the claim had been shared thousands of times, creating panic and outrage. The real risks, while the current situation is stable, experts warn it could change. The U.S. Trade Representative's office has hinted that pharmaceutical imports could be reviewed under a national security clause, the same legal tool used to raise tariffs on steel and aluminum in the past. If that happens, American consumers could see medicine prices surge and hospitals might face shortages. Indian exporters are also cautious. They know that while medicines are exempt today, political winds can shift quickly. Many are looking to diversify markets in Europe, Africa, and Latin America to reduce dependency on the U.S., a relationship of mutual need. Despite the occasional trade skirmish, both countries benefit enormously from cooperation. For the U.S., India's affordable generics save billions in healthcare costs every year. For India, the American market represents one of its largest and most lucrative export destinations. Disrupting this relationship would be like cutting off an artery, painful for both sides. What happens next in negotiations are ongoing. Behind closed doors, trade diplomats are working to reduce tensions, explore tariff rollbacks, and ensure that vital goods like medicines remain unaffected. The public may only see the headlines, but in the background there's a constant tug of war between economic protectionism and practical necessity. As of now, there's no 50% tax on life-saving drugs from India to the U.S. India has not stopped medicine exports to America. The 50% tariffs apply to other goods, mostly in non-essential sectors. The real story is less about revenge and more about the fragile balance of global trade. And while rumors can stir emotions, the truth, backed by verified data, tells us this partnership, for now, remains intact. In a world of viral misinformation, it's a reminder that checking the facts is more than a habit, it's a necessity. Because in the age of instant news, the first casualty is often the truth.